It's very important that the public become engaged in the process because this is the next step after our Imagine 2050 comp plan and also the strategic action plan that the city has been working on.
Palm Coast Mayor David Alphen urging residents to review the city's proposed budget for next year.
This is a chance for residents to voice their opinion on the priorities that were described in the strategic action plan, which are now being evaluated for the budget, which will control the revenue and spending for the next fiscal year.
Mayor Alphen says it's an opportunity for residents to weigh in with their feedback.
The public can actually help City Council decide what are the priorities. We already know that we can't fulfill all of the priorities because City Council is reluctant to increase taxes. So we're going to have to decide which are the priorities. I think many people will agree that public safety comes first, but then everything else after public safety should be prioritized in an order that reduces the tax liability for residents in the future.
The city has also developed a tool to help residents in the process.
Staff has put together a dashboard that actually highlights and shares every single line item for each department within the city and shows not only the expenditure, but the number of personnel that are currently and that are reflected in the service level that we need to provide to the community.
You can access the dashboard online at palmcoastgov.com under City News. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, July 12th.
It affects both HOAs and condo associations. It's very complicated.
New Florida laws impact how HOAs operate. Local real estate expert Toby Tobin explains.
There's a lot to unpack in the new law regarding HOAs, but here are some highlights. They can no longer fine residents for leaving garbage cans at the curb or at the end of their driveway within 24 hours of a scheduled trash collection. They can't fine residents anymore for leaving up holiday lights past the HOA's rules without prior notice. They can't tell you cannot have a vegetable garden or a clothesline, as long as it can't be seen from the street, a neighbor's house, or a common area. Toby Tobin predicts that some of the changes will be open to interpretation and therefore disputed.
One of the controversial topics will be allowing business vehicles parking on association property. That portion of the legislation is poorly written and will not be sorted out until it's adjudicated over time.
Another new part of the law came about as a result of the Surfside condo collapse disaster.
There are much more strict regulations taking effect governing inspection requirements.
He predicts that more and more of Florida's population will be living under condo board and HOA rules.
Most municipalities are requiring that essentially all new development from new communities form an association to maintain in perpetuity the common areas for either the HOA or condo association.
Toby is the host of Real Estate Matters on WNZF Saturdays at 11. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. There's a Flagler County Sheriff's Office, so why does Bunnell have its own police department?
Because, as Chief David Brennan will tell you,
the police are the community and the community are the police.
They know the officers and the officers know them and the officers know the town.
And as you patrol regularly with the same officers, you get to know people, you get to know what's in place and what's out of place and what's suspicious and what really isn't.
Brennan said that while Bunnell is the second largest city in Florida by landmass, its 4,000 residents are happy knowing they have their own police department. You can listen to Today with Pastor Jay here on WNZF Sunday mornings at 8 or anytime on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Watch the Flagler's Morning News video posted every weekday morning and stay informed in Flagler County. Facebook.com/newsradio WNZF. The weekend is here and there's plenty of family fun to be had in Flagler County. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
Tonight, make plans to attend the Christmas in July Dinner and Magic Comedy Show. This is an event to benefit Christmas Come True. There will also be great silent auction items available. Join the Palm Coast Parks and Recreation for their kids kayaking class. Participants will learn how to safely get in and out of a kayak, as well as the basics of paddling, stopping, and turning, all in the safety of a swimming pool with lifeguards. This event is open to ages 6 to 13 with advanced registration. Palm Coast Lions Club is holding a bowling fundraiser. There will be raffle tickets for a chance to win one or more gift baskets, and entry donations will include 3 games with shoe rentals. Bowlers and cheerleaders are welcome, and all proceeds will benefit the Palm Coast Lions charities. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Following a sweep by the Texas Rangers in Arlington, the Tampa Bay Rays returned to Tropicana Field Tuesday, hosting the New York Yankees. After splitting games 1 and 2, Tampa looked for the series win last night. In the first, Randy Arozarena continued his dominance of the Pinstripers.
And there's a shot to left. That's going to do it. All the way back and gone! Home run Arozarena!
His 12th home run of the year put Tampa up 2-0. Yankee Juan Soto took Kevin Kelly deep to even the score at 2 in the top of the third. In the bottom half, the Rays went ahead for good.
Yandy's going to score the go-ahead run, and into second base goes Lau as the throw comes through, and the Rays lead 3-2.
Brandon Lau scores Yandy Diaz. 2 batters later, Ahmed Rosario drove Lau home, and Isaac Paredes scored on a Jose Siri sacrifice fly to make it 5-2. Pete Fairbanks closed the door for his second save against New York this week. Tampa wins 5-4. Cleveland comes to town for a weekend tilt before Monday's All-Star break. The Miami Marlins hoped to avoid a sweep last night against the Houston Astros. Brian De La Cruz got the fish moving in the right direction in the first.
De La Cruz down the left field line, headed toward the corner, and it stays up. A line drive home run for Brian De La Cruz.
His 16th home run was one of his 3 hits in the game. Houston responded with 2 in their half and never trailed again. Astros win 6-3. The Marlins are a half game behind Colorado for last place in the National League, going into this weekend's trip to Cincinnati to close out the first half.
During that time, prior to the military, I also coached middle school and high school golf and basketball. So it's been a while since I've coached, but I look forward to getting back into it.
That is new Pirate Golf coach Ethan Buchanan, our guest tomorrow on the Rich and Mike Sports Show, 7:30 a.m. here on WNZF and always on the Flagler Radio app. This is your home for local sports with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.